Welcome to Snap Talk with Shaundra, the podcast. Ready to live creatively and freely? Let's go! Be inspired by someone who left corporate culture to live her entrepreneurial dream. Here's your host, Shaundra Webb.
Welcome to Snap Talk with Shaundra. You guys are tuning in for season 2. I have been taking a vacation and I have been chilling out. Yes, I have. And just doing a lot of self-care and hanging out and having fun. I want to say hello to all of my Facebook followers. You guys come on in. Come on in, share, like, comment. Throughout, we have a great conversation for you guys. And hello to all my listeners out there in podcast world. I want you guys to let me know where you're chiming in from on Facebook, city, if you're in Houston, wherever you are in the world, let me know. But I am so excited, you guys. This season is definitely a very special season for me. It's kind of like where I am in my life. I'm going through just this beautiful transition, and I can't remember the last time I ever been able to say something like that. But I am, and you guys know I like to be transparent. I like to kind of bring you into my own world, because I found out that normally when you're going through something, somebody is going through the same thing, and I couldn't be more excited about who I'm kicking my season 2 off with. She's an author of The Other Me, which is a book about her journey in dealing with mental illness and how you can get through it. A lot of us are walking that path. And she's also a motivational speaker. And she's my friend. And she is also the proud first lady, my first lady, of the Fellowship of Love Church here in Houston, Texas. So you guys, if you're ever visiting Houston, make sure you come by and see us. I want to welcome Miss Candace Ewing to the show.
Thank you, Shawn.
How are you, doll?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Yes. Hello, Facebook family.
Yes.
I'm excited to be a part of this.
Yes, ma'am. So we're just going to jump right in.
Okay.
This season is really about life reset.
Okay.
And I know that sometimes we can just kind of go through life and our everyday routine, and we get burnt out and we get tired.
Yes.
And we don't even think about, you know what, I can hit the reset button, and it doesn't mean that I have to start over.
Right.
But I can stop.
Yes.
And so I know that's kind of what I've done. And I just want to ask you, have you ever gotten to that point? Are you at that point? And what does hitting the reset button look like to you?
I love what you said about not having to necessarily start over, but you can stop. And I think that is key, because sometimes we pick up patterns and ways of living just because. Sometimes we're doing things, we don't even know why we're still doing it.
Right.
We're still involved with things, we're still connected to people, and we really don't even know why we're still connected to them. Maybe because it's just always been that way. So yes, I have hit the reset, and it did include stopping. You know, for me, I just hit a moment where I just felt like I was just at my wit's end. You know, I remember one day I was at the church setting up, and I just made a comment. I was talking to my mother-in-law, and I said, something's got to give. You know, something has got to give. I don't know what it is, don't know how. I don't even really know why I'm saying that, but I felt like I was on edge. You know, I was tired, I was exhausted, I was irritated. I was tired of me, really, you know. And so she's the one who gave me this book called The 40-Day Prayer Journal. And it is an interactive book where you set aside 40 minutes a day for 40 consecutive days, because the 40 is it has so much biblical significance, just the number 40. And she's like, I think you need this book. I have something for you. I'm going to give this to you on Sunday when I see you. And I started that journey. And, you know, there's a scripture to focus on every day. There's a question. There's this whole dialogue that you're having with the author, and she encourages you to journal. And so you're praying, of course, because this is a consecrated time, but it's not meant to be a time of bondage. And so when you're doing this, okay, so you may want to do it at 7 a.m. every morning, but if you don't get it 7 a.m., as long as you get it in, maybe 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, or break it up in 10 minutes. personally, I went for the 40 just straight up because it was just time. You know, I think when it's time to reset, something clicks in your mind, something clicks in your spirit, and you are ready to do whatever it takes. And so if it means, you know, setting aside 40 days, never having done anything like that before because I had never done it. I've since done the journey twice. And things began to be revealed to me. It helped me to see that I needed to be accountable for some of the stuff that was in my life. Like that I just let kind of run amok, you know, never really saying no. Always being just available. And you know, I was a people pleaser, and so just all of these things God began to challenge me with and say, why are you behaving that way, or why do you think about it that way, or why is this bothering you? I think when we began to hit the reset, we began asking ourselves some really tough questions. It's no longer external questions. We're asking questions inside, like, why am I eating when I'm not hungry? You know, why am I having trouble sleeping? Why do I keep attracting these types of friends, these types of situations, these types of, you know, outcomes? And when you start doing that, I think it's tough. You know, it's not easy.
It's very tough. It's very tough.
It's not easy, but again, I think when you get to that point where you're like, something's got to give. Enough is enough. You know, and you feel that in your spirit. Like nobody has to come and tell you that. You know it. You know it.
And I love the fact that you said you got to a point to where you were tired. And so that's the thing. When you get to a place to when you're tired, and you said you were tired of yourself. Then the work has to begin, because I think sometimes people think, I don't even have time to put work into myself. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Like, if I do this, so many other people are going to be affected. So let me just keep it moving until I maybe can get to a point to where I can start taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally. But then you don't even function at the capacity of which you could.
And you never get to that point to where you're like, okay, once I finish this or that or them, I'll get to me, or I'll get to it. And I think that when you do get married, or when you start a new business, or if you are like for myself, leading in some capacity, a church, a business, an organization, I think you always have an ideal of what you think that person should look like in your mind. And so you start living up to that ideal, as opposed to just understanding who you are and how you're supposed to move in that space. So that's why, you know, you said, can you imagine? I can, because when I got married, I think in my mind, I was trying to not necessarily be my mother, but be what I saw. And, you know, I didn't marry my dad. I married my husband, you know, and so you go into these situations with an ideal, whatever it is, whether it's marriage, whether it's parenting, you know, whether it's business. And when you get in that space and you move through, not really identifying with who you're supposed to be in this space, but who you think you're supposed to be, you forget yourself. And that's what happened to me. You forget yourself. You want to please everybody. You want to be welcoming. You want to be a team player. You want to, you know, get in and not be ruffle too many feathers and just all of those things. And I think as you do that, you slowly chip away at who you are, because you're trying to fit into a box that not just people have designed for you, but a box that maybe you've designed for yourself, but you really don't know that you designed the box, but it's there. It's just clear. And so you're just trying to fit into that, you know, instead of just kind of moving through it and saying, this is a part of my new life, but I can still discover who I am in this as well. So we should be moving together in it.
Yes, I agree. And you know, I read something, Candace. It said, when life is audited, performance improves. And so just with you, like, taking that moment to stop and hit the reset button, what was the one area that you would say that you, after, you know, just going through your prayer and your journaling, that you said, this is the area that I need to hit the reset button on first?
I think it was myself. I think I needed to find myself again. I've been married nearly 15 years. My daughter will be 12. We're a blended family. So when we got together, my husband already had a church. He already had a family. You know, he has 2 boys. They're our kids, but when we got together, he had 2 boys. We didn't have a child together. So I came into everything already kind of set up. And so I just fit in.
Yeah.
And in doing that, as well as being a new believer, you know, I know not everybody believes in the Lord, but for me, I'd only been saved when we got married maybe 2 years tops, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in church, you know, I was in Mo City.
Yeah.
You know,
doing your thing.
I was all the way in, having a good time too, you know, but when you move into a space where you want better for your life, I think sometimes we tend to think that when we say we want better, that means we want to totally do away with who we were. When in actuality, I don't think God says that. I think that he says you become a new creature, but now those things that I gave you that maybe you were using in the world, you will now use for me.
Right.
So I've always been a good communicator. I thought I'd be on TV. I thought I'd be in broadcast journalism. I have a degree in it and everything. He's like, nope, I'm going to use that communication for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I had to find me again. I had to find my voice. I had to find what do I like? What do I not like? You know, all of those different things. I had to really look at it and see, you know, how did this even happen? Because it's deceptive.
Yes.
You don't know that you're losing yourself.
You don't.
Until you start asking the questions to see, I think I lost myself.
Or I'm not the same person, or something has changed. And so to those of you, have you ever found yourself, you know, in a place to where you're like, who am I? And it can happen at any moment in your life. There is no set time, place, age. You know, I think if you're not growing, then you need to probably take an assessment, because at some point we have to always evolve and grow. I know, being a woman in my mid-40s, I've never felt like I feel right now.
Never.
I have become comfortable in accepting my body. This is probably the sexiest that I've ever felt.
All right.
Yeah,
now.
just being, you know, but it's certain moments, you know, like that, like you say, where you just kind of really just take a moment and just say, I'm good.
Yeah.
Or I'm not good.
That's right.
And I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so you slimmed down, girl. You glowing. Look, you guys, I've taken control of my health as well, and I have to say that you have definitely inspired me to do that.
Good.
And so just in that area, talk to women that may feel like, you know what, I don't have time to really. I'm good. I gotta cook for the kids. I gotta cook for my husband. I'm tired all the time.
Yes.
How do they take control, or what do you think are some clear indicators, like, sis?
Yeah.
You gotta take it back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think eating to numb. I think we numb a lot of stuff.
Talk
you know
about
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yes.
We just numb it. You know, we eat when we're at weddings, we eat when we are at graduations, we eat at funerals, we eat, you know, at every event. It is surrounded around food. And I think we numb out with food. You know, it's the only thing that for many of us can bring comfort. You know, we have so many external things that are trying to influence our choices. And so to choose what I eat is mine.
Yes.
It's mine. It's for me. I don't want nobody telling me whatever it is. And it just got really frustrating for me because I've always worked out, but my weight never moved. And I say I always worked out. That does not mean I like it.
No.
I don't, you know, I'm not trying to be no fitness, you know.
Guru.
No, I don't like it. And you said mid-40s, everything hurts. My knees, my feet, my shoulders.
Join the club.
You know.
Join the club.
But what I have found is I'm always going after the end result.
Yes.
So even though it is uncomfortable for me, I do not like it, and I want it to be over before I even started. I'm always going after the endorphins. I'm always going after, the accomplishment in my mind to say, I got through this.
Yeah.
I got through this. And so, I don't have set days that I work out because I think that's stressful. So you were asking, what are some things for our sisters to do or start thinking about? Don't get a hardcore regimen, I would say. You got 7 days.
I like that.
What I tell myself is get 3 to 4 in. Wherever you need to get it in, get it in. And then the other thing that I tell myself is it's about movement.
Yes.
Do you have to do weights and do you have to do sets and do you have to do this? You do what you like, but move.
Yes.
Just move. If it's walking, if it's riding a bike, whatever it is, move for 3 to 4 times a week. And then don't beat yourself up if you miss a week, if you miss a month.
Yes.
It's okay. But this is about you now. And I think that we're challenged in that because it is very emotional. Food is very, very emotional. When we're alone, when we're watching TV, we're numbing out. We're just eating stuff. Maybe not even if we're hungry. Sometimes we may even be thirsty.
Right.
And so I think that it's important for you to find what can work for you. I had tried Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers did work for a time, but I wasn't consistent with it. I firmly believe that many of the plans can work if you work them.
Yes.
But if you're looking for something to happen for 30 days or 2 weeks or, 3 months, you want to look for something that's long-term.
Right.
And deal with the emotions behind the eating.
I love it. You guys, that was some good stuff. Definitely for you guys to, just kind of take a life audit, at where you are. And I want to encourage you guys, there is never a better time than now to make life adjustments. And you just don't know. You don't know who's watching you. And sometimes when you take that step, that's what that other person needs in order to, take the step, and two, are you really tired or are you that tired? Yes, that's the time to just really just make up in your mind, you know what, I want to be better, I want to do better, and hit that reset button. It can happen at 60, it can happen at 40, it can happen, at 20. It doesn't matter, but you have to find your way, and you have to say, I'm ready, and I'm going to do it. So it brings me to one of my favorite parts of the show, which is Snap Thoughts with Shaundra.
All right.
So what you're going to do, Candace, you're going to pull a question from the box.
Okay.
And hand it to me.
Okay.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
Oh, man, try to go back to sleep.
Yes.
I try to go back to sleep. I'm not a morning person.
Really?
No, I don't want to talk. I don't want to be asked a whole bunch of questions.
Oh, yeah.
No, ma'am.
Give me a moment.
I need to ease into the morning.
Yes.
I'm serious. So, yeah, that's what I do. I try to go back to sleep. And then once I see that I can't, because I have a daughter, for school, I try to do devotionals on my phone.
Okay.
It's usually takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to read that day's devotional and the scriptures behind, just to kind of help me. I want to be better in the morning, but
yeah, it's not happening. Okay, another one. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one. What do you do when your friends do something you don't agree with?
Oh, wow. I think that I try to first see if it's just me. Did I maybe get something wrong? Did I miss something? But I'm a big talker. I don't like leaving stuff on the table to let people or let my mind go and assume. And so within a reasonable time, I'll consider and what I want to say, how I want to say it, and I want to have a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't let it linger.
I try not to because it bothers me too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one. Okay. Let's see what she.
Did I get 2?
Yeah, that's 2.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
If you can change one thing in the world, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Just one.
Just one thing.
First thing that comes to your mind.
Mental health.
Oh.
I think I would incorporate it in school. It
That's
would
good.
definitely be something on the health insurance, something to, allow people to go to counseling,
Yes.
therapy. I think mental health would have much, much more impact. If I could change one thing, it would be that. It would be to put it in schools and things like that.
It's necessary. You guys, this is Snap Talk with Shaundra. We have Miss Candace Ewing. We have been talking about hitting the reset button. You guys, make sure you comment, like, and share. And we're going to have you back.
Thank you.
I want to talk about relationships and good and stuff like that. So we're going to bring her back, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you later.
Thank you for tuning in to Snap Talk with Shaundra, the podcast. Want to hear more? Let's go! Hit the subscribe button. Please rate and review.